hundreds of entrepreneurs battle to be on Money Hunt.
I'm with message2.com. Our business plan calls for $2.5 million.
I'm with the Sycamore Group. We design and develop electronic commerce applications. My business plan calls for $500,000, which will be used to facilitate a...
We're a reusable software parts company. Our business plan calls for $3 million to be used for marketing.
Stream Center is a next-generation streaming company. My business plan calls for $3 million, and we plan to use that for business development.
Only 2 will make our show, and only 1 will win time with our Money Hunt Mentor. Stay tuned. Money Hunt is brought to you by Excite. Money Hunt is also made possible by Register.com, a first step for businesses and individuals starting their presence on the internet. And Jordan Industries, acquirers and builders of entrepreneurial ventures in a variety of industries.
Welcome to Money Hunt. I'm Miles Spencer. Being a successful entrepreneur means having the ability to step it up to the next level. It takes a total belief in your idea, your company, and yourself. So let's find out who's got what it takes, because it's time to play Money Hunt.
I'm Cliff Ennico. We challenge entrepreneurs from around the country to come on this show, show us their business plans, and convince us they've got the right stuff. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. At the end, we pick one of our guests to receive some free help and guidance from our Money Hunt mentor.
And that would be Niles Cohen from Capital Express, a New Jersey-based venture capital fund that invests in early-stage, high-growth companies and is funded by wealthy entrepreneurs. Thanks for coming on Money Hunt, Niles.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about the companies we're going to see today, internet, space. What are you looking for from these type of guys?
Generally looking for a talented management team that is committed to their vision and has some sort of competitive advantage in the marketplace.
Great, thanks.
Miles and Niles, I'll never get over this. Our first guest is an old friend, Jason Hewitt. Jason was on our show on our first season, and he's coming back to tell us what happened to him in the last couple of years. He's backstage right now with Money Hunt's Margot Lee.
Jason, welcome back to Money Hunt.
Thank you.
A lot of changes since your last appearance a couple of years ago.
Lots of changes?
Yeah, now I heard a rumor that you've actually retired. Is that true?
Well, just for a little while.
Okay, well, there's some time out there with Miles and Cliff and Niles to tell us all about what you've been doing. Good luck and welcome back to Money Hunt.
Thank you, Margo.
Jason Hewitt is the former CEO of Planet Symphony of Lafayette, Louisiana, which is near Baton Rouge. And Planet Symphony was an early provider of high-end designs for internet sites. When last we spoke, you were thinking about a change in focus. Jason, how you doing?
Wonderful.
Welcome back, man. You look great.
Thank you.
Wait till you see these old videotapes we have of you.
I know.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we'll cue one up in the screen. Let's listen to the bold predictions that you had made during that time, and we can comment on it when it's done.
Hey, we may be the only guys doing this, but it won't be for long.
Right.
You've got all the router companies are trying to implement stuff into their routers, and you know, a company like Microsoft or Netscape could actually, if they had the concept and the idea, could go in and just develop this product in a short
Why would you
time.
raise money right now instead of just going to one of the big companies and getting either a licensing deal or having them buy you at this point?
Because I'm young and I want to run a company for a little while.
I would not think he would get financing, but I think he could. He just needs one seasoned veteran on the team who can keep them, win them way through the sharks of Silicon Valley. I mean, he's in a tough crowd with no one who's really been there before.
Cliff?
Yeah, I agree with Candace for a different reason. I'm not troubled by youth at all. These guys are drop-dead web designers, and if you took a close look at that stuff,
Right.
I mean, they are extreme cool. But it's a company in transition right now. They're just really starting out in the software business, and I agree, that's where they need the mentoring. Software is a tough business right
Yes.
now, highly competitive, big competition out there. You're talking about taking on some pretty big folks with a great concept. If
I
they're
like
not,
the guy. I mean, he was betwixt and between great websites, but now my puppy is looking at designing web pages. That's not going to last, but it looks like he's going to be able to market that to someone else and put some capital into the business where he can
He made
really
a good
get the leverage.
transition. He showed the ability to adapt. It's just that, I mean, when they say they're talking to Netscape, I mean, Netscape will talk to you for a year and a half and you'll never have a deal. He just has to have someone who can give them a reality check and say, that's bullshit, that's good, that's bad.
Right. Before we get into where you are today, Jason, give us just about 30 seconds. What was Planet Symphony?
Planet Symphony was a web design firm. We also started creating software to speed up the internet, and that's where we took it.
Because you were doing some really high-end stuff. You were doing the Mardi Gras right on the web and that kind of stuff.
Right.
The live feed. And
we broadcasted live in '95 of Mardi Gras and made national news. From that, it led us to our software development, where came on the show, raised the capital shortly after that, raised half of what we were asking for. We were asking for $5 million, raised $2.5 million.
Right.
And one of our stipulations was we needed to focus on the software development. So we sold Planet Symphony to an ad agency, and we focused on developing software. We moved up to Ashland, Oregon, where there was a good pool of people to pick from to grow the company.
Was there one critical element that allowed that company, Starseed, once you split it off, to develop so quickly? And the story, as I understand it, was Starseed was sold to a company which was eventually sold to another internet portal. Is that correct?
Right.
What was the one thing that really got that company unique and different in the space and allowed it to ramp up its value so dramatically?
Well, when we were out in Oregon, we bought a search engine. It's called WebRing, which is a ring-based search engine, and that really ramped up our value of the company.
Tell me what a WebRing does.
Well, basically, it's a next-generation search engine. You go to it, and it links sites that are related. So say if you're looking for money, there may be somebody that manages a WebRing about raising
So it's a
venture
consortium
capital.
or a co-op of websites with similar interests and similar traffic.
Right, and it's easier to navigate through than say, going to a large search engine and putting in a single word.
so, Jason, America wants to know. You're in your early to mid-20s, approximately. You are very good-looking. You are disgustingly rich. What's the next step now for Jason Hewitt?
Well, what I'm doing now is I'm working with other internet companies. I'm working with a company called Today's Medicine, which is a health website that's going to be up and going in a couple of months.
When you say working with them, are you helping them develop their sites? Are you investing in them? Are you doing both? Are you doing development work? What are you contributing?
I'm doing both. I invested in some e-commerce companies called Vectrix. I'm working with Today's Medicine on developing their business model and their plan. I'm working with a company called Presonus, which manufactures audio equipment. I'm working with them for some audio devices for broadcast over the internet.
So you're making investments in each one of these companies, but how are you managing your portfolio, if you will? How are you tracking that? How are you making sure that you're adding value?
Well,
it's a different game than running a business.
On that side, I'm relying on, I've got some guys at Goldman Sachs that are taking care of me. I'm relying on their expertise to grow my portfolio.
How about splitting your time? How do you determine how to split your time amongst
That's the hardest thing.
portfolio
I feel like
companies?
I'm working 24 hours a
Right.
day.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, you take a break, just start a company, and you'll have a lot more time on your hands.
Right, right.
But you at least have a little bit more sympathy for people who sit at our end of the table. I mean, you don't have to answer that if you don't.
You know, the toughest thing to do is saying no to these companies
Right,
when they
that's
come
the
to you for
hardest
money
thing.
or help.
Because I get to see, I see probably 30 or 40 different companies a month, like most venture capital firms would look at, and I see some really good ones. I see some really bad ones, but it's hard to say no to a really good idea.
Now, are
and
you
concept.
primarily focused on your area, Louisiana, in terms of the companies that you're investing in, or are you investing in managing companies that are outside of that geographic area?
They're outside, mostly in the southern region. Because
But how can you really stay in touch with entrepreneurs? Yes, email, all that kind of good stuff, but nothing. I mean, FaceTime with an entrepreneur is so crucial. And if you're trying to manage a portfolio and develop your value, how can you do that when they're not close at hand?
You know, Jason, I know I need to see the entrepreneurs I invest in at least once every couple of weeks and spend a few hours with them otherwise we get nothing accomplished.
Right, frequent flyer miles.
I'll do it.
Jason, you also mentioned before we were talking that you're thinking of starting a record label?
Already have.
What is it?
It's called Swahili Records.
Whoa!
And I've signed 2 artists to date and have 2 more that we're negotiating with.
What's the niche? World music?
Actually, it's there. I'm building up a good roster: alternative, country and western, even something like a rockabilly jazz.
Have you had experience in the music business before?
Just like the internet business.
Not at all. Now, you're doing this for fun. You actually expect to make any money on this?
I expect to make money off of it. I'm meeting with some labels while I'm here about distribution, and things are going extremely well.
I can't do too much well than what you've already done since you've been here. We've got the Wall of Fame over there, and hopefully someone will vote for you to be on it for next season. Thanks so much for coming back. Not only did you prove us wrong, you did so in spectacular fashion. We'll be back with our next guest right after this.
Hi, I'm Robin Schatz from Business Week Frontier with a tip for entrepreneurs. You've probably wondered whether your new company really needs a lawyer and how on earth you can afford one. Fortunately, it's getting easier to do many routine legal tasks yourself with legal self-help books, websites, and software. But just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. Experts say the 3 tasks, patent applications, litigation, and partnerships, are still best handled by an attorney. Also, a savvy, well-connected lawyer is an asset when you're looking for investors.
Welcome back to Money Hunt. We've got email. Ellen Sayer saw us on a CNBC appearance. I am an archaeologist who wants to set up a retail shop featuring coins and artifacts that are dug up during excavations but that the museums don't want. What are some of the legal things I need to think about? Oh, digging them bones. Many countries around the world and even some Native American tribes have laws that prohibit the export of antiquities without a permit. So make sure everybody you buy stuff from has the right permit. Don't just take stuff out of the ground and stick it in your pocket. Also, watch out for import duties at this end, which are very, very high for antiquities and other luxury goods. If you have a question for us, you can reach us now at excite.com. Just type Money Hunt when you reach the search button. Our next guest is Chuck Seidman, who's backstage right now with Money Hunt's Margot Lee.
Chuck, welcome to Money Hunt.
Thank you.
How much capital does your business plan call for?
$8 million.
What are you going to emphasize out there today?
We're going to talk about the business plan and how to accelerate the funding of the company.
Did you do anything different to prepare for TV?
No.
Okay, well, we'll see how it goes.
Thank you.
Miles and Cliff are tough. Welcome to Money Hunt.
Okay.
Chuck Seidman is founder and CEO of realtimemedia.com, which is based in Haverford, Pennsylvania. Real-Time Media produces customized internet promotions based on its proprietary scratch and win technology. Chuck, welcome to Money Hunt.
Thank you.
Now, we've had your company on Money Hunt once before, but this is your first appearance. Why don't you give us just a brief overview of what Real-Time Media does?
Realtimemedia.com is a promotional services and media company. We provide member acquisition programs to Fortune 1000 websites, which is essentially coming to a website, and then we provide the incentives through instant win promotions. Scratch and win is what we're most famous for. To fill out a form or do an e-commerce solution to get you to
I see. You scratch and win with the mouse, basically.
Scratch with the mouse,
basically,
right.
The stickiness factor.
The stickiness factor, right.
We brought some video along from last season. Why don't we run that? We can watch and react to it when it's done.
Okay.
I love the idea for your business, and I just want to reposition your entire company already. I just think I think you should rename your company Prizes.com. I mean, this real-time media thing, when I hear real-time, I think of downloading or something, or QuickTime or Shockwave or something. But man, if you could just occupy that space, think Prizes. Think Prizes.com. You own that space.
Well, we own Prizes.com, and it's a tremendous brand name. You are
change the
correct.
name.
Wow.
You've got Yo-Yo into Space, Riddler,
Yes.
Web Stakes. What is your unique selling proposition?
Well, there are a few things. First of all, the core business really has been custom promotion. That differentiates us from both of those, where they're bringing people to their core website. We have a consumer website, but we also do and excel at custom promotion work.
Chuck, that was Peter. Where's he now?
Peter has moved on to better things.
Greener pastures.
Greener pastures is probably a better way of saying it, yes. Right.
You now have had a couple of years of experience now with the scratch and win technology. Who primarily is buying it? Who are your customers right now?
Right now, we're with 27 different promotions running on the internet. We're the agency of record for Lycos and providing a lot of their about 20 promotions this year, which are member acquisition programs. First USA, we're doing $1 million promotion where you scratch
Do you
and
enter
win.
into long-term contracts with these guys, or is it a one-off on a one-off basis?
They're 3 to 6 month contracts right now.
For multiple promotions?
For multiple promotions, in some cases for renewals and others. For anything.com, which is a company that was just funded by Safeguard Scientifics, we just ran a program with them. Their goal was 50,000 new members in this 8-week program. We're up to 110,000 new members for this
Now,
site.
one of the interesting things I saw from your update was a click-through rate with your rich media banner
Yes.
of 37% versus, happy with 1 or 2% with regular banners. What's the difference? What's unique, and how are you going to keep it at 37? I mean, half that was
Is that the
wonderful.
average 37%?
No, the average is
or-
18% is what we're seeing right
Still
now.
great.
We've run 35 million banners across the Flycast network. The rich media is using the scratch and win technology that we have. And it's an immediate call to action. It says, scratch me now and win $10,000 instantly.
Have you compared and contrast that against just click here, instead of scratch me actually with your mouse, click here to win?
Yes, and it's been a lot lower. 3-4 years ago when we were out with banners, we were getting those click-through rates. As we know, the banner business has deteriorated in a big way, and it's a 0.5% click-through. So we are running those type of programs and saying win, win,
And what kind of click-throughs are you getting on that?
1 to 2%.
Really?
Yes.
Strategy side, you're talking about your potential channel for this technology is lotteries. What kind of challenges are you facing in terms of getting lotteries to adopt your technology?
The lotteries are still wrestling with whether they're going to do cross-state lines type, and when they get to that point, our scratch technology will be a great licensed application for them.
Your business plan says that you're upwards of, what, about 300,000 members now all told?
350,000 members right now.
What defines a member?
Someone that comes to the site fills out a form. We have full demographic and psychographic information on those members.
How are you making use of that? How are you leveraging that?
We really aren't. We have been so busy with the custom business and providing these the Fortune 1000 clients that we have not concentrated on building the prizes.com portal. However, with funding, we're going to concentrate on building that portal because it becomes an instant way to leverage the business at a First USA.
Your scratch and win is a real unique selling proposition, no doubt about it, and it's proprietary and it's unique. Would you consider licensing that capability to a competitor just so you can broaden your reach?
It depends what competitor that would be. We have just opened up prizes.com International, and we are in a sense licensing that. It's a structure where we have partnered with an international promotional services agency in Hong Kong, Australia, and London, and they're selling that technology, and we're licensing it to them right now.
Right. Now, since the last show, you were out obviously looking for funds. How have you done since then?
Today, we just closed with Progress Bank, which is Progress Capital Management out of Philadelphia. They wire transferred in our funds. We also have a term sheet on the table.
That's today.
Today. This is my lucky
today.
day. And we also have a term sheet on the table from one of the top 3 venture funds for $8.4 million.
What are you going to do with the bridge financing now?
The bridge financing is we're moving to new corporate headquarters. We're in about 1,500 square feet. We don't have any room where we are. There's like 17 employees, and we need to staff up.
Let's talk about who you've brought in or who you will bring in with the additional funds. What disciplines do you feel you need to fill in order to have an IPO-ready management team?
We are a sales-driven organization. We brought in a new president, a new senior VP of strategic planning. It's the infrastructure and the sales that really need to happen right now.
How do you feel you're able to deal with that challenge of hiring people? I mean, it's a very short supply right now. It's terrible.
Absolutely, yes. And that's why we brought a new president who can handle all that. I don't want to have anything to do with that. I want to sit there and put the strategic relationships together and bring those to the table.
That sounds neat.
Yes.
Hey, thank you so much for coming back for the update. You've made a lot of progress. Come back again when you do that IPO. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with our partners meeting right after this.
When you set a goal for your business, you must be willing to do everything short of violating the law to get there. Worrying too much about what others think about you will prevent you from taking the bold, aggressive action that's often necessary to succeed.
Welcome back. Time for our partners meeting. Flesh these plans out. Actually, 2 reviews. Jason used to be Planet Symphony, now just a stylish investor. Sort of a freewheeling dabbler in the different things he's getting involved in. I'm wondering whether it's returns versus funds, but how can you argue with his past performance? Best hairstyle improvement I've seen on MoneyHunt repeat guest. Cliff, what do you think?
Well, I've always been a big Jason fan. I mean, who in America wouldn't want to trade places with Jason Hewitt right now? The guy is rich. He's in his early 20s. He hasn't even graduated college yet. His biggest problem is what to do with his money. My only question is, what's he doing in Baton Rouge? I mean, if I were him, I'd be heading for someplace bigger, and I think he's going to be in the near
exactly.
future.
And the money was $250,000 from selling Planet Symphony, but then a $33 million hit on Starseeds, which was beautiful. Not all his, but a significant
He's
portion of
practicing
it.
law, Miles.
He's doing well. Niles, what'd you think?
Obviously, a very creative, charismatic guy. I think he's got to be careful, though. Investing is a whole different game than growing an internet business in 1995. Seen a lot of entrepreneurs have been close to them, made a lot of money, and shed it away by investing poorly.
A little bit here, a little bit there, not professional, and
That's right.
sooner or later, it's all gone unless they get a big hit and they can go back
That's
and do
right.
anything else. But tremendous success for it. Let's move on to the other guy that's still in the mix and out there fighting every day, Chuck Seidman, realtimemedia.com. You know, done a heck of a lot since we last seen him on the show. At least the company had repositioned his business model. It lost some people, went on to greener pastures, as you mentioned, but sort of shrugged it off. Let's get some more talent, and was probably turned down by numerous investors until he finally found the one.
As a matter of fact, not that long ago, I turned him down.
Yeah.
He came across my door about 6 months ago, and I decided that I didn't like the scalability of the model, and just wasn't for us.
And on to the next one. I think it's proprietary technology with the scratch and win.
The scratch and win is great, but it's kind of a one-trick pony. Where do you go from
But he doesn't own the technology. He doesn't have a patent on it. It's patent pending.
It's patent pending, that's right. And also he's outsourcing a lot of the technological skill. He realizes he has to bring that in-house. Yeah, my thing is he needs to take it to the next level. He's got a good base of membership. If I were him, I'd be looking at ways to try to leverage that membership base. It's a rare thing to get on the web, as you know.
350,000 members, while respectable, not a huge number there. So, definitely needs to continue to grow that. And obviously his relationships with portals.
How often those members are coming back, the stickiness of those members.
Factor. And also, it will boil down to, when he talked about IPO as the exit strategy, IPO area, everybody's saying IPO. Well, great stuff. IPO, you look at the management team. Who on the management team has been through the IPO process before? Who are the professional investors going to bet on? He really needs to go out there and recruit the managers that are going to create that good buzz among folks that are investing. And he himself admitted it's not so easy to find folks like that today.
No question. He's still relying on a direct sales force, too, to reach his
But they have attracted some pretty impressive customer base.
There's no question, and there's no question with the Fortune 1000, that may be the most effective way to do it.
I think he's handcuffed himself with, he's so deep with Lycos. Has he handcuffed himself with the other portals?
I don't think so. I think that the portals are all looking for unique
stickiness.
If the model works, they'll come after it.
Exactly, and it really is great stuff. And he can, you looked at the scalability of it. And now, as he's repositioned, he's able to get into a situation where it's not one-off consulting, but he can get into a scalable business, which is so crucial. Now, the rules say, Niles, you got to pick one of these entrepreneurs to help give an hour of your time, as valuable as it is. Who's it going to be, and why?
Well, I think I'm going to have to pick Jason in this case, because Jason's trying to do what I do for a living, which is invest money professionally, and I think he could use some help doing that. I like what I like Chuck and how he's repositioned his business, but I still think that the scalability problem in the end is going to be hard for me to swallow.
Great. So it's Jason. Margot Lee with some reaction shots out back.
Chuck, great presentation today. What would you say is the one thing over the course of the time since we last saw you that's led to all the success your company's had?
The one thing that definitely is participating on the back end of the revenue stream with our clients, where we're selling the program in at a lesser price and then getting a what we call bounty on the back end for every acquired member.
Okay, Jason, also a very good presentation, second time on Money Hunt. You've been a very successful entrepreneur and making the transition to investor. Would you as an investor have invested in Jason the entrepreneur?
Ooh, that's a hard question, isn't it? I guess so. I definitely would. I'm going to continue to surround myself with people who are smarter than I am so that I can ensure some future success.
Okay, well, that first step is having the meeting with Niles. Here's his business card with the hour of consulting time. Let us know how it turns out.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Miles?
Thanks a lot, Margot. Jason just keeps on winning. Money Hunt's all about learning to be a better entrepreneur. Big piece of that puzzle is our mentor, Niles. Thanks for coming on today. Tell me, one last question. What makes a great entrepreneur?
I'd have to say passion, perseverance, and integrity.
Great.
Well, it says it all. So you think this is easy, trying to convince Miles, Niles, and Wiles that you've got a great business idea while a nationwide TV audience looks on? Think again.
If you think you're one of those great entrepreneurs that Niles spoke about, get in touch with us through our online audition. maybe we'll be seeing you on Money Hunt.
Starting or growing your own business? Miles and Cliff have 27 rules to help you succeed. Based on actual events from our Money Hunt guests, this book is full of timeless stories and valuable lessons for today's entrepreneur. Purchase your copy by calling 1-800-925-0745. For $25 plus $3 shipping and handling, Money Hunt's 27 rules are also available at bookstores nationwide or by ordering from our website at www.moneyhunt.com. Money Hunt is brought to you by Excite. Money Hunt is also made possible by Register.com, a first step for businesses and individuals starting their presence on the Internet. And Jordan Industries, acquirers and builders of entrepreneurial ventures in a variety of industries.